Chances are you've seen some of the video coming out of Moore, Oklahoma. It's been more than a week since a massive tornado touched down there, destroying everything in its path. Volunteers and the organizations they work with are responding all across the country, including the Salvation Army. Captain Pamela Moritz is here from the Salvation Army to tell me more about it. Captain Moritz, it's good to see you again.
Thank you.
And starting last week, as soon as we started seeing the video, I believe we were carrying it live here on First at 4 just moments after the tornado ripped through there, we started getting calls from people here who wanted to know how to help. Now, we've had a lot of different organizations say, call this, do this.
Right.
How do you guys want the folks at home to help?
Well, we want to encourage them to, of course, give donation. We always appreciate that. But what we don't think of during a disaster, most of the storm destroys the building. So there's nowhere to store the in-kind gifts. So we have a new donation response this year to text in 80888-STORM, and then you can give a $10 donation through your mobile phone. If you need help, just punch in help, or if you need to stop, you can just punch in stop. So anywhere from a $10 donation. If you want to give corporate gifts, then we've got a individual that you can contact, and I've got that information, Lenita Lloyd. And that's Lloyd, Lenita Lloyd, there's an underscore Lloyd at uss.salvationarmy.org, and that's for the AOK division. So it's not that we don't take in-kind gifts, but we have a system
it's
because
just not
of storage.
Practical
right.
at that time.
Yeah.
Because people remember how things were here.
Right.
Like you said, there's nowhere to put the stuff.
We feel their pain. Oh, my goodness. And we want to help. And the best way we can help now is to give that 80888 donation, $10 at a time or more, of course, because they can get the needs met promptly rather than have to store things and then have to go get them, and then transportation's an issue and distributing and all that. So in-kind gifts are not encouraged, but you know, there is a way that we can do that if they get with Lenita in Oklahoma.
But money's just so much easier.
It is. It
now,
really is.
Captain Moritz, I remember sitting up here and watching a live helicopter feed, and one of the things that stuck out at me, obviously things exploding into flame, and emergency vehicles trying desperately to get to where they were needed, and roads were blocked by debris, and it was just gridlock on a massive scale. One of the things that you guys are doing are trying to equip people to be able to help in this kind of situation, because you never know if an emergency vehicle is going to be able to get to you or not whenever cars are piled on top of each other in the middle of a street. And
it's not safe, and we do provide training. Matter of fact, June the 15th, we're going to provide disaster training. I call it Disaster 101 training. We'll do CPR, medic first, you know, the flow chart, you know, all the first responders, what do you do, you know, after a disaster like that, emotional, spiritual care. You know, the disaster really goes on after long-term recovery ends. So this is very good training, and I know there's about 25 churches here in Tuscaloosa that are interested. If they would send 2 people per church and call the 553-1600 and get in on that, we only have 50 slots to do that training. So volunteers, we do have a volunteer coordinator. If they'll call the 553-1600 number, we'll crash course them in on the volunteering, and hopefully on June the 15th they can get that state-of-the-art training.
All right. And that's the gloomy stuff. Let's move on to the fun stuff. There's something fun happening this weekend that you guys are part of. Tell us about that. We're
going to help with the Spring Bash. No Limits is putting this on, and we're honored to be a part of that. Of course, on the back, they've got some more sponsors.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll be at the McFarland Mall, 8 in the morning starting Friday.
Oh, wow.
The vendors will start showing up and setting up their hot dog stands and things like that. We'll have our new canteen there. Actually, it's coming here tomorrow for a live interview, and we'll have water that we'll give out and stuff. And that's the fun part. So.
The fun part.
Yeah, we have Donut Day coming up too.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that really quickly. We're low on time.
Yes.
Donuts deserve
76th anniversary, and the World War I girls that we feed over 64 million meals a year, including donuts.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
All right, super. We'll get you back on to talk more about that. So,
Thank you.
Captain Moritz, it's good seeing you.
Thank you.
You can find out more about the Salvation Army by calling 205-553-1600. They can tell you more about making a monetary donation to the people in Oklahoma that need it. They can also tell you more about getting involved in one of those CPR courses, or online at salvationarmyusa.org.